Nice to meet you.
It's very good to be here.
Tell me a little bit about yourself. How long have you worked as an oncologist?
Well, I just retired after 38 years being a surgical oncologist, a cancer surgeon.
So,
Well, before you get into me, what about you?
well, my name's Megan. I'm a new mom, and I'm happy to be part of this conversation today.
How new?
My daughter is 10 months old.
Congratulations.
Yes, thank you very much. What made you want to be part of this conversation today, especially as an oncologist?
I have a voice, I have some experience, and I want to take care of the next generation. And you're bringing the next generation.
Yes, I am. Well, for me, becoming a new mom changed how I see vaccines. You know, I always kind of trusted that they worked, but pregnancy made it personal. Every decision, when it wasn't just about me, it was about, caring for my baby's life and ultimately their future. And with hepatitis B, I know it can be silent for many years before it ultimately leads to serious liver disease. And that's when it clicked. Like, vaccines aren't necessarily about preventing short-term illness. In some cases, they're preventing lifelong disease and even cancer. So, for me, yeah.
That's exactly the point. Is this is vaccination for hepatitis B is simple, very affordable, and lifelong. Good for your daughter, but also good for our entire community and our entire world, because it looks like we can get rid of hepatitis B. The World Health Organization has made a goal of being rid of hepatitis B by 2030. And the way we're going to do that is global vaccinations. And global vaccinations don't do any good if you don't start with an individual vaccine.
Right, you're absolutely right. It was the first act of protection I could give my child.
Yes.
I wanted to kind of refocus the conversation on facts instead of fear. So can you tell me a little bit more about what hepatitis B is and the birth dose specifically?
Hepatitis B, one of the most common infections, certainly one of the most common preventable infections that we have out there. The biggest thing is it leads to hepatocellular carcinoma in some cases, which is the third largest cause of death in the world. Fortunately, in the U.S., some of it because we have had some vaccinations, some of it because we can take care of it a little bit better, but certainly it is still a problem here. The thing that's very personal for me is these folks are sick, and when you were taking care of them, you're sitting there thinking, why did this poor soul have to get this? And hopefully we can get to the point where I don't have to have that angst anymore.
Absolutely.
I was running through my head of some of my previous patients, and the luckiest ones are the ones at one guy who was in a car wreck and got a CAT scan for another reason, and we saw a little spot on his liver. That's the way to find it. Often by the time you start to have symptoms, it may be something as vague as some pain in the upper abdomen, it may be just some fatigue. People say your color isn't right, and you don't turn bright yellow like you think people do with liver disease. You just don't look like you feel good. Mm-hmm. And when you talk to the patients, yes, I've been dragging for a while, and fortunately their docs start to look and they find it, and that's when they ended up finding me. Wow. And the treatment, quite honestly, I'm a surgeon. I should, when all the world is a nail, I think I've got the hammer. It's the surgery for liver cancer is tough, but it's better if you catch it early, and it's even better if you don't have to catch it at all. But it's a tough recovery if you have to go in and take out a large portion of someone's liver and watch them recover.
Right.
You don't want to do that.
So the birth dose is really kind of the first step to making sure that never has to happen.
The hepatitis vaccine in general is 3 recommended doses: birth, 1 month, and 6 months. In those 6 months, it's a lifetime of protection. the vaccines being as safe as they are. The birth dose is important because if you delay it even to 2 months, about half of the neonates and infants who are going to be infected will already be infected. And if, giving it at birth, you take care of them. You also, not everybody is really good about coming back for their appointments. You have a captive audience. If you have a new mom, wants the chance to do something healthy for the baby, and you can do it right then and there. And, well, personal experience of something entirely different. I certainly of the vintage where I should have gotten the shingles vaccine. And I waited and I waited and I waited. And then I got it. And that's 2 doses, 8 weeks apart. When I got my first dose, I booked my second dose. I was a captive audience. I knew I didn't want to start halfway and not finish it. And that's the beauty of the birth dose, is you get it started right away, and there's the motivation to finish it.
Absolutely. For me, when I questioned, why at birth, which I think is probably a very normal reaction, when you're holding your brand new baby, you want everything to kind of feel very gentle and slow. But once I understood that hepatitis B can be transmitted in ways that, we don't always know or we don't anticipate, and that infants who contract it have a 90% chance of developing a chronic infection, the timing made sense. The earlier the protection, the better.
Absolutely.
And then the safety concerns, for me, that was a non-issue. After having conversations with, my OBs, nurses, pediatricians, the hepatitis B vaccine has been, tried and tested. It's been well studied. It's been around for decades, so it was kind of a no-brainer for me.
And there are no occasions where there are significant serious side effects. Few people get a fever. Few people get some aches with the second or third dose. But the thing that really struck me is they made a point that you worry maybe the baby's going to get a fever, it's going to delay getting home from the hospital, and there were no instances where it started that whole cascade of we've got a sick baby, not we've got a healthy baby. And so it's not that you're going to risk not getting the baby home as quickly as you want to have the baby.
Right. Low risk, high reward.
Absolutely. And a lifelong reward.
Yes.
Yeah, which is the most important thing. I think what you just said is so important, of the mom asking questions, and sometimes you'll be shy. Oh, I don't want to be the one who's asking too many questions. Docs love when you're asking questions and looking for answers, not just from a mom, but from a doc, that this is the right thing to be doing.
That's really empowering.
Thank you for watching. Protecting the next generation starts at birth, and the hepatitis B birth dose is a vital step in ensuring a healthy future for every child.